Hi, this is Dawn Olszewski, and if you're watching this video, it's because you received a free gift from me. It's my Greeting Card Kids Kit, and it's a PDF instructions with videos. This is one of the videos. And that is a thank you for placing a $50 or more order with me in September and October of 2010. And so I appreciate your business very much, and I wanted to do this as a thank you. So let me show you this great, it's a kind of a box wrap type of thing. It's on with this belly band of the striped ribbon. Love this ribbon. And I'm just going to go out here, and as we open it, it just slides right off. And you open it, and it's just designer series paper. You'll get the dimensions for scoring and cutting. And in here are some beautiful cards made with the Greeting Cards stamp kit. It's called Greeting Card Kids. And this is just such a cute little set. It's got 4 images in it. It is one with the Valentine, back to school, a winter theme, and a Halloween theme. Love it. So here's the cards that we made with it. So this is the winter card. And this is the Halloween card, and both these cards feature some Big Shot texture embossing. I'm going to give you some tips because I actually lined the paper up in the embossing folder a little bit differently, and that's going to be on video too. And then these are the other 2 cards, and these are adorable. So it's the Valentine and back to school, but really I made it a note of thanks. You could really give it to anyone, but probably a school teacher would be nice. It features some of the big designer buttons from the current holiday mini catalog, and the designer paper that I'm using in this particular set is called Love Letters. And here is some of the varieties that you get with that pack. And there are some cutting tips that I'll share along the way because some of this paper has some kind of natural cutting areas, and when when we start doing those cards, then I'll show you those tips. All right, well, let's get started. Okay, so let's get started on the coloring and the assembly of the card. And basically, these 2 are the same layouts. I'm referring to them as the card variation number 1. They have the same layout. The dimensions of the cardstock and the designer series paper are the same. And the coloring method that I'm going to use is the same as well. And we're going to use the blender pen with ink pads. So let me show you how to do that. First of all, I want to just point out that these 2 pieces are exactly the same. And so all you want to do is you're going to stamp the girl in the portrait, and you're going to stamp the kids in the landscape. So there you go. And the coloring tool that we're going to use is called a blender pen, and it is 2-sided. It's got 2 tips. They're both the same, so when one dries out, you just use the other one. Or if you're doing a lot of coloring and it's just 2 colors, then I like to do, one at the same time. But the beauty of the blender pen is that you can pick up ink and color with it, and then pull the ink off until it runs clear, and then you just pick up another color ink. So how do you pick up ink? Well, what you do is with your ink pads closed, you squeeze them together. I'm squeezing them. And then you open it up, and then there is ink pooled in the top of the lid. So I have mine all set to go, and I've already pre-colored the little girl. She is colored with 2 pinks, and one is Pink Pirouette, and I laid down, that's the lighter of my pink, I kind of laid down that color first, and then I came in with some shading with a darker pink. I didn't want it too dark. I just used the Blushing Bride, and that's one of our new ink colors. And you can see where there's these lines and these little hash marks? They kind of tell you that's where your image is darker. And so go ahead and add extra ink in those areas. Now, there's a lot of great things about using the blender pen, but one of the one of the not so great things is when you overwork it, meaning you just keep adding color in the same area, and what happens is, especially with this lighter paper, this is just very vanilla, it's not watercolor paper, and it's going to start to pill, and so you just want to be careful. I always say just add it really quick, add a little extra color, and just be done with it. Don't keep working at it. Usually when I work at it, it makes it worse instead of better. So I've learned to just kind of pull back and take a step and look and go, hey, you know what? That looks just fine. So I'm going to show you some color. I'm going to finish coloring this for you, the little girl. So we're going to start with Baja Breeze and pick up some ink. That's what I'm doing. I'm picking it up right from my ink pad. Okay, so I'm going to start from this area because this is going to be my darker area. Okay, and I'm just going to add color in this area. Now what I'm doing is trying to blend this to the side that I kind of want to just kind of naturally let it just sort of let the color run out and be lighter. And then I'm going to come back in with that same color and just add a little more. So this is where you don't want to overwork it. So there we go. And now I'll finish her top here. Okay, and I'm going to have her collar and her little cuffs be darker. Okay, like a little accent color, but just with the same blue. There we go. Now it's getting darker there. Okay, and she's got little socks and a bow to tie it all together. And of course now we have her red. So I'm going to pull off the blue here till it runs clear. And there we go. I'm going to pick up my Riding Hood red. Now this is a very small space, this little apple, and red's pretty intense. So I'm going to start by pulling a little bit of my red off. And then I'm going to add some. Then I'm going to pull some more off. And then I'm just going to start to blend it over a little bit. And there you go. I may even just add a little bit more in that darker area. There. And now all she needs is color of her hair. And I'm just using crumb cake. And pull that off. Use my crumb cake. And add some color here. And there you go. They're done, quick and easy. How cute is that? Now the next step is I'll show you how to assemble the cards and give you some quick cutting tips. Okay, so like I mentioned, the pieces on here are cut the same, but I wanted to point out this particular designer series paper. The pattern on the love notes. One of the patterns is like grammar school paper. Remember when we went to school and it was early? So my tip on cutting this is cut a 4-inch length going this way, okay? And then you'll have strips of writing paper. Now in my directions I indicate that there's an approximation of this strip, okay? This is roughly 1 1/8, but I say you're not necessarily cutting it to 1 1/8, you're cutting it, there's a natural separation. Every 2 writing spaces, cut, and then 2 more, then cut. And then, look, stamp your greeting right on the writing space like there. So I love that. So I just thought I'd pass that tip on to you. Both these cards feature buttons, and the buttons are out of the Holiday Mini. They're the Deck the Halls and Candy Canes, and they're the big designer buttons. I'm going to back up and get a little. So look how big they are. This is a great big pack of them. And I'm using actually a variety from each of the packs. So if you've not used buttons before, what you want to do is you want to take out your mini glue dots, and you'll pull this back till you reveal a dot. And then I'll just take one of these buttons, and you'll just press it to the glue dot, pull it up, and then put it on your card. It's pretty much as easy as that. So one last detail on here, and that is I added some Dazzling Diamonds, and you're going to use your 2-way glue pen to do that. So there's card variation number 1, and